Viewers, you're watching this explosive exclusive with me and Navika Kumar. We know that the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation receives funds from China. We know that some of their contributors have been dubious, or at least the sources of the money coming in through contributors is dubious. But now we can tell you that investigative agencies are focusing on a sweetheart deal right in the center, Navika, of Lutyens, Delhi. You have some details.
That's right. We're talking about land allotment and it really seems like a scandal if you were to look at the details that we've been able to unearth. And I've actually sat for days looking at these documents, and reams and old dusty files have been dusted out, and I've been looking at these documents and the heart of the national capital. This is on Rai Sinha Road, which is right next to about 2 or 3 5-star hotels. This is right next to many ministries. This is right next to Lutyens, Delhi, where many members of parliament and ministers live. And we have learned that there is a 2-acre land. 2-acre land that has been allotted to the Congress party for constructions of its headquarters. Remember, this is for a political party's headquarters, and it was allotted to the Congress party for building the AICC headquarters in 1975. Does that date ring a bell? 1975 is under the scanner, and this is now under the scanner of the agencies. The reason being that the same land meant for the office of the Congress party is now occupied by the family foundation. Yes, the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, which is led by the Gandhis, Sonia Gandhi chairperson, Rahul Gandhi on the board, also Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on the board, and documents that we've accessed show that allotment conditions have been altered not once, Rahul, but four times. 1975 allotment takes place,
yes.
1976, and these two dates are important because they are in the middle of the emergency period. Indira Gandhi was the prime minister, yes. Nobody to challenge her, nothing. And in 1976 there is first one tranche of 4,736 square yards given, and then another tranche of 4,500 square yards is given. And then the land use automatically changes when it's the Gandhis.
The terms of allotment constantly tweaked without much fanfare to ensure that this particular land that was meant for the Congress party, viewers, not for the Gandhis, ends up in the lap of the Gandhi family. How does this happen? That's what we are unlocking today, decoding today. I don't think anyone has actually looked into this very clever, and I don't know what else to call it, Navika, but sleight of hand.
That's right. And if you look at this, first in 1975, 4,736 square yards is given to the AICC, which is the Indian National Congress. Then in name is changed. The Congress Bhavan Trust name is changed to Jawahar Bhavan Trust. Well, it's the same thing, the same family. So Jawahar Bhavan Trust is what it begins to become. Then additional land of another 4,583 square yards is allotted to this Jawahar Bhavan Trust in December of 1976.
So from 1 acre,
so 1 acre becomes 2 acres because after all it is the Congress party. And Congress is Indira is Congress. This is in Indira Gandhi's regime. 75, the first allotment is made. Then 76, it becomes Jawahar Bhavan. And then there is a perpetual lease that is signed in respect of both these allotments. That is total area of 9,500 square yards, which is executed on the 22nd of September 1988. So 22nd of September 1988, this deed is now a perpetual lease. Now, Rahul, note, there were 2 separate pieces of land allotted on 2 separate dates, but they become one. And there is a permanent perpetual lease that is given in 1988 and 1988.
Gratis.
gratis is always gratis because it's the Congress party and it's the only party that had ruled India till then. And in 1988, it was the Rajiv Gandhi government. So this property then, as per clause 2, it becomes the purpose of allotment is for construction of the office of the Jawahar Bhavan Trust and for no other purpose. So even then, it remains Jawahar Bhavan Trust, which will be the holding entity
Yeah.
for the Congress party's construction. Now, on the request of this trust, in 1995, again, lo behold, coincidence, it is the Narasimha Rao government, and in 1995, the use of the premises for Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is granted, and the condition is that the floor space shall be provided to them without consideration and free of rent. So that is also part of the agreement. Ki Rajiv Gandhi Foundation will come in, be part of the Jawahar Bhavan Trust
And need not pay any rent
and
either.
need not pay any rent.
So subletting also happens.
That is subsequently.
Okay.
Subsequently, there is subletting. And as per the guidelines in 1995, the institutional allottees can sublet 40% of the built space on payment of 25% license fee. But even this 25% license fee is then waived
off.
and it says that the share of rent was not charged as both the trusts were engaged in similar activities and because Jawahar Bhavan Trust allowed to share the premises free of cost. So Congress party excuse me,
Yeah.
allows Rajiv Gandhi Foundation to come in free of cost. So it is allowed by the government. Everything what they want is then allowed
It's
by the
done.
government. I'd love to have a regime like that, that whatever I want is allowed by the government for me to do, especially when it comes to real estate, Rahul.
So the premises, in short, viewers, is not used for the office of the AICC for which the original allotment took place, but ends up occupied by the RGF, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, or it is actually sublet. So viewers, sublet also to entities that belong or are managed or on whose boards the trustees are the Gandhis primarily. So look at the way in which what belongs really to the Congress party ends up also belonging to the Gandhis because they happen to be the trustees of these foundations.
Well, if it was India for Indra, Indra for India, then it has continued Congress for Gandhis, Gandhis for Congress, and that is how every property of the Congress party has been treated. And let me also
What is
tell
very
you,
interesting-
there is a latest transaction that takes place on the 6th of May,
that's what I was drawing your attention to.
2014. 6th of May
Barely
2014, 10 days before
Yes.
the results of the 2014 elections, because the results came out on the 16th of May.
Yes.
6th of May, there is another permission that is given to Jawahar Bhavan Trust, and it says that they can sublet to Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust, they can sublet to Brighter Indian Foundation, Office of Kamala Nehru Memorial Hospital, Rajiv Gandhi Institute for Contemporary Studies. All of them can sit in this bhavan meant for the AICC, given only for that purpose, and Rajiv Gandhi Foundation becomes the, virtually the owner with the biggest entity there. I don't think the Congress party, anybody else in the Congress party has ever held any meetings over there. We do see the Indian Youth Congress office somewhat there, but there is at least 1 acre of land which is only the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, and then it can sublet to other foundations of the family.
The problem in this story is the impunity with which the allotment conditions are tweaked, and that too expressly, Navika, by governments of the Congress. That's the real problem.
Indira
so
Gandhi
even
first
four
to-
prime ministers, including Rajiv and Indira Gandhi,
Indira
bent over
Gandhi,
backwards.
Rajiv Gandhi, PV
Narasimha Rao
Narasimha Rao,
and Manmohan
and
Singh.
then Manmohan Singh's time, when the then Urban Development Minister, I think it was Mr. Kamal Nath at that time, he also signs in favor of the Congress. No question asked, no money charged. Everything is for free.
Let's go straight across to Madhav, who's outside the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and Jawahar Bhavan. Also, of course, Nikunj there with us, Samia Kapoor, who is outside the Congress office. Let me come straight to you, Madhav. Madhav, the building is behind you. Obviously, right now, because of COVID under lockdown, but this is a massive, massive bit of prime real estate. And it's in perpetual lease to really the Gandhi family. Let's be honest about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, Rahul, what Navika and you have been telling us is the amazing set of post-facto rationalizations and tweaking of the conditions of allotment, which I really don't know whether they would actually test the scrutiny of law, whether they would pass that. Of course, I'm sure the Congress's legal would have us believe that. But let me just give you a sense of where we are and how prime this location is. This road that we are standing on, Rajendra Prasad Road, this is Shastri Bhavan right here, where several of the Government of India's ministries are. This is just across the road. Over here we have Krishi Bhavan. A little further down, about 200 meters from here, is Rail Bhavan. And from there on, barely about 400 to 500 meters from where I'm standing is the main gate of the Parliament of India. On the other side of this building, where you can see the entire facade, is Rail Bhavan, is Raisana Road. And this entire facade of this building, this is the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation's office. It is, of course, Jawahar Bhavan that this entire building complex is known as. All 9,319 square yards of it, all present right here. Inside this building are offices, there is auditoriums, there is even, you know, a sort of open air area where, in fact, those who go to the auditorium can often visit afterwards. So this is the sort of location where it is at. The only question that we are raising is that the terms and the conditions under which this building has been given is that of an AICC office. And what is amazing is that less than 2 kilometers from here, we have 24 Akbar Road, where the AICC office currently is. What is also amazing is that Congress party, just like many other national parties, also has another piece of land that has been allotted in Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, where the BJP office is. The communist parties have their offices there, as do several other political parties, but the Congress party has not built its office yet over there, thereby raising the question about whether this land that was allotted for the sole purposes of AICC hosting its headquarters has been a complete violation, whether they have squatted on land, and whether a private foundation which has been thus far distanced from the political activities of the Congress party should actually be sitting on a premises which has been officially allotted to the party's headquarters. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? These are just some of the questions that come to mind immediately. Rahul and Navika.
Well, let me go across to Nikunj. Now, Nikunj, I want to ask you, as far as this particular building is concerned, you know, look at the prime property. I think a building of 2 acres is going to be worth some few thousand crores, if I'm not wrong. And that is the kind of property. It is allocated in the name of the All India Congress Committee, owned by a trust called the Congress Bhavan Trust, then it becomes Jawahar Bhavan Trust, then Jawahar Bhavan Trust and Rajiv Gandhi Foundation becomes synonymous, and now Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is really the family trust of the Gandhis. So is there no line that exists between the political party, that is the Congress, and the Gandhi family, not just on the political level, but even at the level of the assets owned by these political parties? All the Associated Journal land that we saw yesterday in Mumbai, that's also belonging to the Gandhis. Now Congress party's land also belongs to the Gandhis. Is there no line that separates the party from the family?
Well, Navika, the big problem here is that this land actually does not belong to the Ministry of Urban Development too. The fact that this land is actually, like the Parliament building, which is 2 kilometers away from the same said portion of the building or the said building, Jawahar Bhavan, belongs to people of India. The Urban Development Ministry is the custodian of that land. And that land, that is why, is leased to various outfits, political parties, or various government ministries and buildings. That land actually is vested in people of India. Now, it's too bad that other than allotting, see, the official business of the Ministry of Urban Development is maximum to the stretch of the fact that they can allot various portions of land for the political activity to the political parties in the heart of national capital, because the administrative center and the parliament of this country is located here. Post that, allotting land to various trusts, particularly trust owned by a family, is none of the business of Ministry of Urban Development. Somebody should have actually asked those questions there, that why are we leasing out land? Whether to begin with, why is even it is Jawahar Bhavan also, that's not the business of Ministry of Urban Development. While Ministry of Urban Development has a gross shortage of nearly 40% in terms of accommodation available to government's own employees, this is a cruel joke on class 3 and class 4 employees of the government, who have to shell out money from their own pocket much beyond their dearness allowance in the city of Delhi, where they cannot get accommodation and have to live in dingy accommodation because the government can't provide them for accommodation. It's a cruel joke also on the people of India, who actually do not know what is going on under the aegis of the Ministry of Urban Development, and the land that is vested in them is being transferred to the first to the political parties, then the trust run by them. And my own understanding of this situation, Navika, after having watched these businesses in the administrative realm for over 15 years, is that I do not think, other than Babu Jagjeevan Ram Trust in the house that Babu Jagjeevan Ram used to live and passed away finally, has been allotted to very many trusts in Lutyens, Delhi at least. Governments have allotted lands to trust in various state capitals, in various other Mofussil small towns and centers, but not in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi. I think it's only the Congress party and Congress party run trusts, and consequently Gandhi family run trusts, which have gone prime pieces of land in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi. There is no match to that. Even Lal Bahadur Shastri Trust runs from the house where Shastri ji last lived and passed away. So quite clearly there is something more than what meets the eye. Even in the Ministry of Urban Development, questions should be asked under what power are these leases being granted first of all, and then tweaked. This completely goes beyond the administrative domain of the Ministry of Urban Development. They need furthermore many clearances, which they have quite clearly transgressed the line. And just because the epicenter of power during those 10 years...
I'm glad you raised that question. I'm glad you raised that question, Nikunj, because according to the files that exist in the Urban Development Ministry, it is the allocation, the allotment of the land is done by the LNDO, which is the Land and Development Office. And then the corrigendum is also issued by the LNDO, which is the Land and Development Office. So if the LNDO subsequently has come under the Urban Development Ministry, if there has been, a different nomenclature that has been followed after 1975, I don't know. But LNDO till date is the organization or the department that actually allocates land in Lutyens, Delhi. And these files of the land allotment to Congress Bhavan Trust and the subsequent clearances, waivers, whatever you call it, are given by the LNDO office. So how do you explain that?
But quite clearly, Navika, LNDO is the body that grants that kind of clearances in Delhi beyond the realm of Delhi Development Authority, which is the principal land holder in this city and allots all the kinds of lands outside the ambit of Lutyens, Delhi. But the crisis that I am saying, the crisis, Navika, emanates from the fact that it is not the mandate of the Ministry of Urban Development to get into the land allotment for trust purposes. It's too bad that any land was for Jawahar Bhavan was allotted. That was 1975. And as you said, an era beyond scrutiny, emergency imposed, or otherwise also because Mrs. Indira Gandhi had virtually no opposition. She at one point in time almost locked up the entire press of the country. Now, post that also there should have been questions asked in the Ministry of Urban Development as to what is their business beyond the grant of land to the political parties for the purpose of political activity to give lands to various trusts associated with a political party, largely run by the family of a political party. Those are the questions that are not asked. Instead, there are post facto rationalization, as Madhav was saying, and then tweaking of leasing rules, etc., various subset of rules that should, naturally follow allotment of any piece of land which belongs to people of India. This is not the land belonging to any public, private, or any kind of
It's a
corporation.
very convenient. It's a very convenient setup that you allot land to the Congress party to build its building. This is in 1975, which is 25 plus 20, 45 years ago, if my maths is correct. 45 years ago, and in 45 years you build a building, you make a Jawahar Bhavan Trust, and 13 years later you give it and invite the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation into it, and then start subletting, and virtually the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation becomes the owner of this particular prime land, costing some thousands of crores. I don't even know what will be the value of that kind of land, but houses which are much smaller properties on Prithviraj Road or thereabouts, which have been sold to private entities, have been sold for some 400, 500, 600 crores. So this land, which is 2 acres, in measurement, would be some few thousands of crores. I want to ask you that till date, neither is there a stipulated AICC headquarters, which is why the land was allotted, and it is now occupied by the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, or it has been sublet to other foundations, which definitely is not part of the land usage of the original land allotment. And every time, is it a coincidence that Congress prime ministers come and change the rules?
6 years now, the NDA has been in power, and I would presume, Navika, now that this investigation has begun after the RGF unraveled here on Times Now its secrets about two weeks back, I think, when we got into how the RGF was receiving funds from dubious donors with dubious sources, and also, of course, the Chinese embassy and the Chinese government. The government has now set up a wide ambit probe panel to look into all of this, multidisciplinary panel. But if they just looked, there are many violations, and let's just quickly go over some of these violations. To build a case to perhaps even take back this land may not be that difficult, viewers, and that's what we have to keep in mind. Why this long rope? Why this charity for the Gandhis? I just want to take you through the violations. Remember that 4,583 square yards, or roughly about 1 acre, additional land was given to Jawahar Bhavan Trust in 76. That made it almost 2 acres of land. More land allotted despite JBT not starting the AICC office construction in 14 months. So there was a stipulated cap in which they were supposed to have begun. According to our investigation and after scrutinizing the papers, that construction, that hasn't happened. Perpetual lease in allotment of land executed for construction of JBT office in 1988. Again, under Rajiv Gandhi, land was originally allotted for the construction of AICC building, not the JBT office. So viewers, here again, there has been a sleight of hand. Let's look at the third violation. Permission granted for the use of premises by Rajiv Gandhi Foundation in 1995. Narasimha Rao, prime property rented free to a private foundation owned by Gandhis. That again was an allowance that was made that did not originally exist. Lastly, and this is important, viewers, on request of JBT, the Jawahar Bhavan Trust, permission given for subletting premises to trusts in 2014. Now this is very interesting, because if the Gandhis wanted premises for their trusts, they would have had to pay rent anywhere else, viewers. That would have cost them. But here, they get a free ride. Land not used for office of AICC as stipulated in allotment condition, but occupied now by the RGF, that is also further subletted. So look at the violations from the original mandate, Navika, and we can't constantly suggest that these things are above scrutiny. I would have missed the attention of the NDA. But nonetheless, let me quickly go across to Samia Kapoor. Samia, you probably be speaking to your sources within the Congress. How are they reacting to this story? What are they saying about it?
Of course, Rahul, like all other exposes that we have been putting out with hard facts on Times Now, they have been calling it to be a case of diversionary tactics. What they are questioning over here is that this is not a recent allotment that has taken place. It's decades ago that this allotment took place. Why has the consecutive NDA government, for that matter, has been sitting on this land if there was any discrepancy or irregularity in the allotment of this land is concerned? The consecutive governments of either Vajpayee or right now the last 6 years of Modi-led government could have issued any sort of an inquiry if they felt that there is more than what meets the eye. They have only been calling it that why is it being brought up right now and not in the last 6 years? The timing is what the Congress party is questioning, once again maintaining that these are all diversionary tactics to take away the focus and the attention from the economic distress, the Chinese transgression and the recent coronavirus pandemic that the government has failed to manage well. So the Congress party over here is brazening it out, saying that they have nothing to hide, that they are on the clean over here and they are not going to be rattled by these selective leaks, is what the Congress party is terming it to be, to try and take away the attention. They're saying they have all documents in place. If there were changes made in the allotment 4 times over, it was done with all due legal procedure. So the government will have no area to corner the Congress party, is what they're sitting confident about. So we have to wait and see. There's a proper inquiry that would be ordered into it. Only then will the Congress be made answerable legally and officially on the ground where should have been an AICC headquarter, and we don't see that being there.
Well, Samya, brilliant. The Congress party is always, the only defense that they have is either that it is vendetta politics, or the second option is always the timing. If anything, I think the timing takes away from the fact that the Congress itself is crumbling at the moment with the 2 young Turks gone in the last 2 or 3 months. But Madhav, let me come back to you. Rules may have been changed, is fine. But I want to ask the simple questions. Do rules get changed just because the family they are serving is the same family that controls the party called the Congress, which is the party in power on all the 4 occasions when the rules have been changed? You know, that is the question of conflict of interest. That is where the whole issue comes in, because in 1988, under the Rajiv Gandhi government, it becomes a perpetual lease. It was supposed to be an AICC headquarters. You didn't build it for 13 years. Despite that, it becomes a perpetual lease. And then a few years later, another Congress Prime Minister comes, and under him, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation comes in and starts living there in a building which is a perpetual lease. And that seems to be the convenient part of this whole story.
Well, absolutely, Navika. And you know, we have seen several prime properties right here in Lutyens, Delhi, 5-star hotels, for instance, that are given on a lease, but that is a lease for a fixed time of 100 years. Converting that into a perpetual lease, isn't there, you know, prima facie, doesn't that itself smack of some kind of impropriety, or at least or illegality? That's a question that, of course, first of all comes to mind. Point number 2, as you rightly mentioned, from Indira Gandhi as Prime Minister during the emergency, to the Rajiv Gandhi years as Prime Minister, to Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister, to the fag end of the UPA 2 regime just 10 days before they were actually voted out, before the counting took place. Actually, you have a situation where the rules are once again tweaked, and each time, you know, it is like a little more relaxation, and a further relaxation is given to the various trusts, etc., that are associated with the first family of the Congress party.
That's right. That's right, Madhav. And land allotment, even if it's worth thousands of crores in Lutyens, Delhi, in the heart of the national capital, is given to the party. The party and the family, the Gandhi family, have no lines drawn between them. All this is given perpetual leases and land use.
The NDA has to
everything is changed and everything is for free.
Has to take note of this expose. It needs to come out with an explanation also of why this is perpetuating for 6 years. We need to get to the bottom of this, and right after this short break, we're going to come back and ask the BJP, and of course ask those who will also propagate the Congress defense, and that defense is built on obfuscation. But let me also tell you, viewers, from Amethi, another investigation straight from the ground. This is going to sting the Congress once again. and no prizes for guessing what is a common thread that holds them together. We come right back.
Welcome back to the Explosive Exclusive, and tonight, as always, on Times Now is the biggest story, and this is the story of land grab in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi. I'm calling it land grab because it can't be explained in any other words. In 1975, under the Indira Gandhi government, land is allotted to the Congress party in the name of the Congress Bhavan Trust to build the headquarters of the All India Congress Committee. In 1976, another change is made, and the Congress Bhavan Trust changes its name from Congress to the Nehru Parivar and becomes the Jawahar Bhavan Trust, to which this land is then allotted. It becomes part of the Nehru Gandhi Parivar. And then from then on, it's a history. It's a history of additional allotments and changes in land use. 1975, there is a 1 acre land that is given to this particular trust. In 1976, in the middle of the emergency, another 1 acre is given, of course, free of cost. In 1988, this becomes a perpetual lease again in the Rajiv Gandhi government time. And then in 1995, the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is allowed to come in, set up shop inside this building with a perpetual lease. Narasimha Rao allows that, and then Congress Gandhi lines are blurred. The Congress property becomes a Rajiv Gandhi Trust and therefore a Gandhi property, because there is Sonia Gandhi as the chairperson, there is Rajiv Gandhi, there is Rahul Gandhi, and there is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on the board. And we've of course taken you viewers through all the donations that they keep getting from PSUs, from Prime Minister's Relief Fund, and from various ministries, from China, from Mehul Choksi and others. And this is land. This is land worth thousands of crores, which is given to the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. And then subsequently in May, just before the UPA government is parceled out, 10 days before that, they again make a change and they allow the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation to sublet it to other trusts of the Gandhi family. And all of this is done for free, no revenue charges that are shared with the government. And this is the sweetest deal. Well, I'm getting reactions coming in on this big breaking story. This is a big one. Times Now impact, massive impact of the Times Now news break. And Rahul, this is the multidisciplinary agency that has been set up by the Home Ministry just a few days ago after our news break, which is now written to the chief secretaries of both Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, seeking details of any land allotments that have been made to either the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation Trust or the charitable trusts or any foundations
Navika,
that belong.
in the past, and let me tell you, there have been accusations, and in fact our next investigation is also actually focused on land allocations that have taken place after bending some of the norms to the Rajiv Gandhi Trust or the Gandhi-run family trusts, both in Haryana and of course in Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, most of these activities are focused in the Gandhi bastions of Raebareli and Amethi. And in Haryana, it happened also where certain land, and these notices have gone out also by the previous Haryana administration. At that time too, there were notifications sent down seeking responses from the Rajiv Gandhi Trust and Foundation. I don't know if they were responded to even now, and we can easily move on to that other story also in just shortly, perhaps towards the end of the show, because that's an important investigation coming out of the barrios or the boroughs of the Gandhi family in Uttar Pradesh, where once again we saw land being meant for or land taken, acquired by the state to build schools, but were then given to the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. We'll come to that, but let's just go straight across, Navika, to some of our guests on this show. I want to bring in Dushyant Nagar and Manaswi Thapar. She's also here with us. Dushyant Nagar, yes, he's here with us. Manaswi Thapar is here with us. Dushyant Nagar, Ratan Sharda, Tom Vadakkan. Let me just go straight across to Dushyant Nagar. Dushyant Nagar, I just want to ask you straight off the bat, what do you make of this, sir? क्या देयर इज नो डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन कांग्रेस एंड द फैमिली? क्या एक ही है ये सब?
देखिए, बात शुरू 1920 से होती है। जब भारतवर्ष की आज़ादी के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी संघर्ष कर रही थी, तब पंडित मोतीलाल नेहरू ने आगरा में, लखनऊ में, गोरखपुर में, पुणे में, कानपुर में और देश के अन्य बहुत सारे हिस्सों में कांग्रेस के दफ्तर बनाए। अपने पैसे से, अपने निवेश से उनको खरीदा, कांग्रेस को सजाया संवारा, जिस बुनियादी ढांचे के ऊपर देश की आज़ादी का आंदोलन लड़ा गया और ये भारतवर्ष आज़ाद हुआ। जिस परिवार को ऊपर आप लगातार कीचड़ उछालने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, असफल प्रयास, उसकी भूमि जो इलाहाबाद में, प्रयागराज में एक महत्वपूर्ण जगह पे है, जिसे आनंद भवन के नाम से कहते हैं, जो उनकी पैतृक भूमि थी, वो इस देश के लिए उन्होंने दे दी। अनेक ऐसी भूमियां हैं, अनेक ऐसी संपत्तियां हैं जिसको इस देश के लिए दे दिया गया। भारत की आज़ादी का आंदोलन, कांग्रेस का इतिहास और गांधी परिवार, ये तीनों एक दूसरे से मिले जुले। आप लुटियन जोन में एक भी प्रॉपर्टी बता दीजिए जो किसी गांधी परिवार के व्यक्ति के नाम से आवंटित हुई हो, खरीदी गई हो। इस प्रकार की बातें करना ये हास्यास्पद से ज्यादा नहीं है, इन पे हंसा जा सकता है।
दुष्यंत नागर जी, खरीदने की जरूरत क्या है? कांग्रेस के नाम पर अलॉट करिए और गांधी परिवार को दे दीजिए। आप मुझे एक चीज बताइए, चलिए, स्वतंत्रता सेनानी थी पूरी गांधी नेहरू परिवार। मुझे एक सवाल का जवाब दे दीजिए कि कितने स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों को आपने ऐसे लैंड अलॉटमेंट्स किए हैं? कितने स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों का? क्या उनका खून कोई मायने नहीं लगता?
केवल यही परिवार है जो मांगता है, अपनी वसूली करता है।
अब आपने सवाल बदल दिया।
नहीं, सवाल कहाँ बदल दिया? आप तो स्वयं कह रहे हैं कांग्रेस और गांधी परिवार में कोई फर्क ही नहीं है। कोई फर्क ही नहीं है।
बिल्कुल नहीं है, कोई फर्क नहीं है। जो आजादी की लड़ाई लड़ी गई,
तो फिर कांग्रेस
रानी थी।
तो फिर कांग्रेस ने अपना हेडक्वार्टर बनाकर डेमोक्रेसी लोकतंत्र को आगे करने की जरूरत नहीं समझी कि लैंड देना ज्यादा जरूरी समझा भरपाई के लिए।
पे गिरा। आप इस प्रकार की बातें करते हैं, ये देश इसको पसंद नहीं करता। आप सुबह शाम कीचड़ उछालने लग जाते हैं। इस परिवार ने क्या लिया देश से?
क्या लिया?
चोर या सीना जोर, शब्दों का प्रयोग
मिनिस्ट्रियों से
आप केशव कुंज के बारे में बात करिए। केशव कुंज के बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे आप।
रतन शारदा
क्या चल रहा है आपको जानकारी है?
रतन शारदा
जनता पार्टी के लिए कितनी प्रॉपर्टियों का अलॉटमेंट हुआ, उनके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, बात नहीं करेंगे।
दिशा बदल जाए। मैं बहस की दिशा नहीं बदलने दूंगा। केशव कुंज के ऊपर एक अलग से बहस रखे, बात करूंगा।
चाहे विषय पर बहस कर लीजिए। आप भारत को हरा नहीं सकते, आप भारत के लोगों को अपमानित नहीं कर सकते।
बंद करिए ना, दरबारियां
संग्राम में जिन्होंने अपना सब कुछ आहूत कर दिया, भारत के लिए सब कुछ कुर्बान कर दिया, आप उस नेहरू को अपमानित करना चाहते हैं।
अपने बलिदान को कितना निचोड़ेंगे, कितना दूध बनाएंगे, कितना मक्खन बनाएंगे?
अरे
और इतने बलिदानी हो गए। गांधी के परिवार के पास क्या है मुझे बताइए। मुझे बताइए,
भारत को आजाद कराया,
क्या है?
गरीबों को हक दिलाया, किसानों को हक दिलाया, मजदूरों को हक दिलाया, भारत के स्वाभिमान को ऊपर पहुंचाया।
अकेले ऐसे हैं जो अपने परिवार को भुलाने के चक्कर में
अरे उस ट्रस्ट ने किसके लिए काम किया? आप बताइए।
अच्छा, ओके, ऑल राइट, 1 minute gentlemen, let me go across to a man who's with us on the panel, Mr. Tom Vadakkan, who has spent considerable time in the Congress party. I want to ask you, Mr. Tom Vadakkan, did the Congress party leaders have any right to use this building on Raisina Marg, which is where the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is? Were they allowed to hold any political meetings there?
Navika, before this gets converted into a Congress rally addressed by Mr. Dushyant, he's taken chapters of the Vipin Chandra's freedom struggle and he's trying to present it on a debate. The reality is, this particular plot and this construction, we had two offices there, the Congress party. Let me say this.
on record. The Seva Dal and the unit called NewsWatch were permitted to work from the premises. One bright morning, we got instruction to vacate the premises. Seva Dal was asked to march out, and we were also asked to move out. I requested an appointment with Congress President.
Srimati, she was not Congress President at that time. I asked for permission to meet her because she was heading the unit, that we should be permitted to work here because we had to be separated from the usual 24 Akbar crowd, because we had a very classified kind of an activity that we were doing, collection, compilations and all that. Now the point here is we were bluntly told to move out. Now that was a point at which we had it was a strong comment coming from from Srimati Sonia Gandhi that we had to move out. Now it is like nemesis catching up when all this exposure comes to us, that there's a perpetual lease and the allotment has been done the way it has been done and what have you. The illegality is now staring at us. There is an inter-ministerial inquiry working on this. I do not want to make a comment on what are the issues they will discover from this. But yes, the illegality is visible, and the people of India are not going to be quiet.
Well, Mr. Tom Vadakkan, which was the year that you are talking about when the Seva Dal and yourself and the offices running from the Congress party inside this building were asked to vacate these offices?
I'm not very sure of the year, but this is something around 90s.
Okay, so around 95 when the RGF may be on its way inside, around that time. And ever since then, between 1995 to 2020, or till when you left the party, were any political leaders of the Congress party allowed to hold any meetings inside this building?
And that was a no-no situation for us. None of the political party, we were not allowed inside. This was a kind of a place where we were not permitted, except if there was a function of Panditji or Indiraji function, annual function, where we were invited. And that was a guided tour, but nothing more than that.
Of admission reserved board outside this particular building and said no Congress party politicians can come in here. This might be in the figment of your imagination, the AICC headquarters, but this, for all practical purposes, is Bhumi that is sacred to the Gandhi family. So keep your feet out of this. That's really what you're saying. Now this is shocking. So you're saying that the Seva Dal, big, very big disclosure.
Not only the Congress, but the Seva Dal, both offices vacated from here, and since then, no political leader from the Congress party,
can I say something
unless
here?
they are invited for a function.
The Seva Dal is also intrinsic to our freedom struggle. Let me tell you that much. आप freedom struggle की बात कर रहे थे नागर साहब. अब बड़े यहाँ तो जो freedom struggle के जो इंटेग्रल हिस्से हैं, उनको ही आउटसाइडर्स
बाहर खड़ा कर दिया. बिल्डिंग कांग्रेस पार्टी की ऑक्यूपाइड बाय गांधीज, और कांग्रेस पार्टी को अंदर आने के लिए गांधी परमिशन देंगे तो आप आ सकते हैं, वरना आप बाहर खड़े रहे.
नाविका, we make a mistake of calling them Gandhis.
देखिए, राजीव गांधी ट्रस्ट, जोहार भवन ट्रस्ट, ये सभी की सभी प्रॉपर्टियां कांग्रेस से बिलोंग करती हैं, और उन जगहों से जो काम हो रहा है वो देश के लोगों की सेवा का काम हो रहा है. वो काम हो रहा है किसका? गरीबों की सेवा का काम हो रहा है. वहां से लोगों का इलाज किया जाता है, गरीबों का इलाज होता है, गरीबों के बच्चों को छात्रवृत्ति दी जाती है, वहां लोगों को रोजगार के अवसर प्रदान करने के लिए ट्रेनिंग के कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए जाते हैं. पंचायती राज को किस प्रकार से मजबूत करके, सशक्त करके पूरे देश में लोगों को शक्ति दी जाए, उनको उनके अधिकारों के प्रति लड़ने की ताकत दी जाए, उसके वहां पे विमर्श होता है. वहां क्या होता है? वहां कोई किसी का कोई निजी काम होता है क्या?
देश क्या कीमत चुकाएगा देश आपके इस तरह के लालच का? मुझे बताइए.
Manasvi Thapar wants to come in. Manasvi
चुका रहा है कीमा
Manasvi Thapar, I want to ask you as a common citizen, will Rahul or I worked for this company for 15 years. Will I be allowed to say this is my building? अब तो मैं नहीं जाती यहाँ से. Can we say that?
That is not how it works, and that is not how it works for anyone. So in 2006, there were special rules related for political parties. If you have 101 to 200 MPs, you can get 2 acres of land. And if you have more than 200 MPs, you get 4 acres of land. So BJP applied for, in 2015 at 3B BDU Marg, an additional 2 acres of land, which they got in 2019 March. And they did not even get it. It was for a residential purpose. Just one of your editor was speaking that there is no space for our government employees for residential purposes. This particular land was for residential purpose, and now this land was immediately converted for a public and semi-public use. So DDU, LNDU always have given political land every time to all the political parties. So when it comes to Congress,
but no political party has got it twice, sir. No political party has got it twice. First you get in Lutyens Delhi, which you give to the Gandhis, perpetual lease for free, gifted to the Gandhis, and then you take other land. ऐसा नहीं है कि दीनदयाल उपाध्याय मार्ग पर कांग्रेस पार्टी को लैंड नहीं मिला है. 100 करोड़ का लैंड 2 करोड़ में मिला है, और आजकल आप लोग कहते हैं कि उसको बनाने के लिए पैसे नहीं है.
मैं बोलूं नाविका जी,
और इसलिए 24 अकबर रोड भी चाहिए.
मिल तो जाते हैं ना.
मैं
तो नेहरू
रतन जी मैं बोलूं, रतन जी मैं बोलता हूं.
देखिए मुझे आप आपके कभी सदस्य होते थे, करप्शन के विरुद्ध इतना बोलते थे, आज आप मॉरली करप्ट की बातें कर रहे हैं, आप फाइनेंशियली करप्शन की बातें कर रहे हैं. आपको शोभा नहीं देता. आपने अपने तिलांजलि दे दी. आपको क्या कांग्रेस में जाना है? आप कैसे इस तरह के भयंकर करप्शन को आप जस्टिफाई कर रहे हैं, मुझे ये बताइए.
मैं जस्टिफाई से फैक्ट्स को कर रहा हूँ. मुझे कहीं जाना नहीं जाना वो मेरा व्यक्तिगत मूड है.
लेकिन आप क्यों जस्टिफाई कर रहे हैं ना?
बीजेपी वो जनता को डिसाइड करने दीजिए. जस्टिफिकेशन क्या फैक्चुअल प्रोपोजिशन है. बीजेपी
जनता तो डिसाइड कर चुकी, बहुत लूट हो गई.
मैं फैक्ट्स बोलूं भी. आप जीत रहे हैं सर, आप जीत रहे हैं, आपको मुबारक है, पर देश में सच्चाई की भी जरूरत है. सच्चाई और जनता के सामने आएगी. आप मेरे को बोलने
लैंड चेंज होता है, मुफ्त में जगह मिलती है, सरकारी पार्टी की जगह को परिवार को दे दिया जाता है. उसको कैसे डिफेंड कर सकते हैं? मुझे ये बताइए, कैसे डिफेंड कर सकते हैं? आप परिवार को दी पार्टी की जमीन परिवार को दे देंगे.
पावरफुल देन मी. यू वांट टू स्पीक फर्स्ट, यू स्पीक फर्स्ट. आई विल नॉट इंटरफेयर.
Because you are speaking such strange law talk.
So are you the judge? Sir, are you a judge, anchor, or a panelist? I don't judge you how you speak or what you speak. You have the right to speak as a panelist.
Okay, you ridicule yourself. Okay, go ahead, ridicule yourself. Please go ahead.
I don't come from this culture to say that you ridicule yourself. You have done it so many times, but I would not use such kind of words. So BJP present existing addresses 6A DDU mark, and they got an additional new land at 3B DDU mark. Twice they have got this. So they have converted a residential plot to a semi-public usage plot. This is not the first time we have heard this. This has always happened. And now when we talk about Congress in 1976, this land was allocated. After that, 8 prime ministers from non-Congress background have come in. None of them objected it. So if there is a problem, we should have an inquiry. Morarji Desai should have initiated it. If not, Morarji Desai should have initiated it. Atalji should have initiated it. Now, even Narendra Modi ji does not comment on this on the first term.
Anyhow, a committee has been constituted, as we all know, to look into all of this. The committee will come out with its findings. I just hope that the terms of reference of the committee are also made public soon and the duration is set.
Absolutely, because as far as the people of India are concerned, this is land belonging to the people of India. This is not private property of any political family. If it is a political party, then questions will be asked, why should it get 2 plots of land, not have money to make them, and then squat on another property which is in Lutyens Delhi, despite the Supreme Court giving its verdict on how political parties should vacate these premises. Many questions that we will continue to ask and continue to debate into the evening, but when it's times now, when it's explosive, It's always the first big story cracked here by our ACE investigation team. We always keep you ahead, and that's the promise that we make to our viewers. We'll be back with more investigations tomorrow. Don't go anywhere, because 6 p.m. on a weekday, you have an appointment with Rahul and me. Thank you very much for joining us.